Hello everybody, welcome back to Drunken Sailor Cocktails. I am the Drunken Sailor, and this is the place where we make cocktails that are simple, easy, and delicious most of the time. Today we're going to do something just a little bit different. We're going to take you behind the bar. This is a series where we show you how to make some of the syrups and liqueurs and things that we make that we put into our cocktails. Well, last month when we were making our Halloweeni-tini cocktail in celebration of Halloween, we used one of the ingredients was chocolate liqueur. We got a comment from one of our viewers that said, hey, Godiva stopped making chocolate liqueur. What's a good substitute? And there are some good commercial substitutes out there. And Mozart is one of them. Bailey's Irish Cream is one of them. And I got to tell you, we use a lot of chocolate liqueur in retrospect. Things like our chocolate martini, our thin mint shots, salted caramel pretzel martini. We just did a chocolate chip espresso martini that all use chocolate liqueur. So if you've been watching, you know I say fresh is best. So today what we're going to do is make our very own chocolate liqueur. So join me behind the bar and let's get cooking. Well, the first step to making this chocolate liqueur is actually to make a chocolate syrup. And there's really only a couple ingredients going in there. There's two different types of cocoa. The first one is a dark chocolate, and this is a Dutch process. And it's got a rich, a little bit more bittersweet flavor than the typical cocoa powder that you use. We're using Ghirardelli's. You could also use Hershey's cocoa powder if that's what's around you. It's up to you, it's your choice. That we're going to use about 3/4 of a cup, which is about 171 grams. We'll measure that out just to make sure that it's good. Our next ingredient in there is sugar. Now you can use refined sugar. We're not going to use refined sugar. It's a lot of processing to it. What we're going to use is pure cane sugar. And that you're going to use about 1 1/4 cups, and that works out to about 285 grams. We'll be measuring all this stuff out. The last couple ingredients that are going in there are a little bit of espresso powder. So it's powdered espresso coffee. It doesn't really give it a coffee flavor, but what it's going to do for you is give you a little bit of a snap and liven it up for you. Of course, we're using some vanilla, and we're using Mexican vanilla. I'm getting low. It's almost time to go to Mexico again. And last but not least, a little bit of salt in there. We'll throw some water in there, and that's what we're going to boil to make our syrups. So here we go. First going in there is going to be our cane sugar. Once again, 285 grams. Our next ingredient going in is the cocoa, and I've already pre-measured that. We're using, once again, about 3/4 of a cup in there. You're going to put that right into the sugar. That's a 1/4 cup. There we go, 1/2 cup. And now we want to give that a gentle mix. You got to bring that in together. If you put the cocoa, and we're going to put this in a cup of water, if you put them in there without mixing, the cocoa is going to clump and it's just not going to go real well. So you just stir it, get those two combined. Okay, I think we're good there. Next ingredient that we're going to put in there is some salt, and we're just going to use a pinch. 2 fingerfuls. That's going in there. Next ingredient is our espresso powder, and we're going to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon in there. Once again, we don't want to give it a coffee taste. We just want to wake this up a little bit. Now that we've got this all mixed together, we're going to get a little saucepan. First ingredient going in there is 1 cup of water, 8 ounces. Now what we want to do is incorporate the sugar cocoa mixture into the water. So slowly pour and stir. Pour and stir, pour and stir. The smell in here, Willy Wonka's got nothing on us, folks. Now that we have a slurry, what we want to do is add our vanilla. And we're going to put a 1/2 teaspoon in there. And let's just eyeball it. We don't need no stinking measuring cups. All right, the next step is to heat it up. And since I don't have a stove down here, Up to the kitchen we go. It looks like you beat me up here. We're going to take our syrup, we're going to put it on a burner over medium heat, and we're just going to bring it to a low boil. We're going to continue to stir on this. Chocolate goes good with a lot of different flavors. So if you've got like a cherry flavor or maybe some cayenne pepper, chocolate and hot pepper, just great. This is a time that you really want to put it in there to help infuse it into that syrup so you can kind of tailor this liqueur to your taste. And we're just going to stir. Okay, after several minutes of stirring, we're finally getting to a slow boil. So now we just need to take it off the heat and we're going to let this cool to room temperature. We'll see you back down in the bar in a little bit. Well, we're back down here in the bar. The chocolate sauce is cool, but I have to say, I didn't let it cool on its own. I was able to put it in an ice bath to cool it down. So now we're hitting the final approach. What we need to do is put some stuff in the blender. First off, we are going to use 1 cup of brandy. And this is what's going to give it the kick. It's what's going to give it the shelf life. 1 cup, 8 ounces. Our next step in there, and we're going to put in there some sweetened condensed milk. We've got a 14-ounce can. Now, rumor has it that, and I haven't seen it, but I really haven't went looking for it, they actually make a caramel-flavored condensed milk. So if you want to make it a chocolate caramel kind of a cocktail, you may want to look for that. 14 ounces into the blender. Now what I want to do is give that a blend. We're going to give that a blend for about 10 seconds or so, just to get everything all incorporated. Okay, right now we got about 16 ounces of liquid in there. Our next step is going to add some cream. Now you can use milk. You could use almond milk if you're lactose intolerant. You can use heavy cream. Today we're going to use half and half. The density of the milk that you put in there is going to make a difference on how thick this is. We don't want it so super thick, so half and half it is. 3/4 of a cup. One more quick flash blend on that. Now, I know y'all been waiting for it. This time, once again, 6 more ounces of our chocolate syrup. And if you want to put in a little bit more, go ahead, because this is really good. Another flash blend. That's it. It's done. Now, if you let it sit overnight, you're going to enrich a little bit more taste in there. But you know what? I'm kind of anxious. Where's my glass? I got to have a first glass I could grab. We're going to give that a taste. The pour, the color looks very, very much like the Godiva. We got a really good chocolate smell in there. This is really good sipping on the rocks. But wait, the back of the head, she's back. What do you think?
Oh yeah, that's good.
That's good. Now, it will keep in the refrigerator for about 6 to 8 weeks. You do have a dairy product in there, so it's not a shelf-stable kind of a thing. What I want to do next, because I want to keep this, it's the holiday season. Maybe you want to make some of this and give it away. I'll be back in 1 second. When you start this endeavor, make sure you've got bottles. You're going to want to pour this in bottles. You're going to bottle it up. There's one. One for me. And one for you. So that makes about 750 milliliters. One for you and one to share. Cheers, everybody. I hope you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Recipe card is here at the end.